What's good, gang, man? Your boy Rico back at you again with another episode of the Puffington Post, man, a podcast. We talk about any and everything. We get money any and every way, man. Before I start the vid, man, I want to give a big shout out to my man's Trail, to my man's Jasper, and my man's Sleazy, man. They couldn't be here with us today, man, but show must go on, man. We here to enlighten the youth, man. They was like, man, drop the vid, man. I'm like, alright, man, because I've been taking some notes, man. I got some shit to talk about with y'all niggas today, man. No bap. But yeah, goddamn. We're gonna start off at is not where we're gonna end off at, and everything intertwines and correlates because everything that we know, starting from the school system, is corrupt and is, you feel me? Like I'm gonna explain everything as we go on. But let's take the Republican Party for example, okay? Who do you think when you hear Republican Party, you think of Donald Trump? So you think, oh, this is like a whole party for nothing but white supremacists and all this other shit, and the Democrats are for the people that, oh, the first black president was a Democrat and all this other shit, so the Democrats must be for the people. Wrong. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's completely wrong. Back in the days, and when I say back in the days, in 1867, on July 4th in Texas, goddamn 150 black men founded the Republican Party. And now, in 1867, when black people were doing one thing, the white people were on the other side. So if the black people started the Republican Party, then the white people must have started the Democratic Party. It all makes sense.
There we go.
Alright, man. We're about to jump into abortions and vaccines and where that really started off as, you feel me? Because if you say, oh, I'm pro-choice or I'm pro-life, you gotta actually know where this shit started off from, you feel me? It's like everything has an origin. Everybody came from somewhere. Who was the first person? The black people, you feel me? When you look around, the archaeologists can find the Caucasus man coming from like around like 10,000 years ago, shit like that, right? But the first man on the earth were millions of years ago. So if Caucasus man was found 10,000 years ago and there's nothing else past 10,000 years, and you keep going, but you go more southern in the world, and you're finding bones for millions of years, that means that black people were the first people and at one time were the only people on earth. You feel me? Yeah, we have to start getting into this. It's not just black people, but any people with any pigments in their skin were able to survive the conditions that the world was in. They used to get the ultraviolet light. That's why our eyes are darker, so we can take the light in through our eyes and use it as energy. That's where they got the concept of Superman from. They wanted you to think that it was a white man with all this power that could take power from the sun. If that was really true, he would get skin cancer. Every trip, he would get skin cancer, or his skin would casually become more and more dark. Is this facts in evolution? But they wanted the white man to be able to jump over a building in a single bound. They took his speed from Jesse, I forget his last name, but he raced Hitler in horses. A black man raced Hitler in horses in the Olympics and won. And they used that in relation to the inspiration of Superman's speed being faster than the speeding bullet. This shit. But yeah, we gonna get into this, man. Goddamn. Abortion was not established to help the females that were forced into having sex. So like because rape has been going on since beginning of time. Pillaging all the way back in the Mongolian days. There were pillagers that would come and rape and kill and murder and all that, right? So abortion wasn't started to protect the babies that were forced to be brought into this world. Right? Abortion was established to eradicate anybody with the skin that had any color to their skin. Because at this time, the white man seen what would happen when his white woman would have sex with any other color other than white. The white was inferior in the genetics, and it's proven to be fact. If you want a white dog, you have to have 2 white dog parents, and that's just fact. Or if that dog has a lot of white in color and that dog has a lot of white in color, it's only going to be possibly 1 all white dog. You feel me? So it's kind of a rarity, or something like when you look into it, if an animal needs his color to survive in the jungle and you keep producing white offspring, you will see that as a defect. You feel me? But we weren't on the lines of that. We were just saying that we were different, and they didn't like the fact that when their white women came over and seen them and they bred with us and they seen that the white was no longer present, they was like, oh no, this cannot happen. So then they made us inferior in our brain with psychological and physical enslavement. So what do I mean by that? I mean by the literal breaking of the bulls, where they would sexually harass black slaves that would not give up easy. They were not going for the slaves that were running. So what would they do? They would get them in front of all the slaves and rape that man. Like, that shit's sick. And what do they do now? While you're in jail, they rape you in jail. It's breaking the bull. It's the same thing. They want to spiritually control you. So they moved it into the jail that's predominantly black now. Same thing, to break the black man. Like come on now. It's been everywhere. It's been shoved in our face. You see people out here sagging, and they say they're there, and they use that as a sign of masculinity when whole time it's femininity, because it started off in jail. A lot of people never even been in jail, but they sag every day. Like everything correlates, everything is cause and effect. Okay. Since the start of 1973, 15.1 million abortions have been undergone and went place. So if underpopulation is such a thing, why are we aborting so many of our potential lives, that they call it? You feel me? And out of those 59.1 million, 4 million were black people. You feel me? So y'all be like, oh, so it's not just for the black and brown, it's for everybody, right? No. Because when it started off for the eradication of coloreds, but then it evolved to, oh, we can't market it that no more because that's not socially acceptable. So as the times went on, they said, oh yeah, y'all females too? Because the white females couldn't just be like, oh, it's only us white females. They needed all the females. You feel me? So then they started bringing females in. Not to mention the sexual castration that went on in Silicon Valley at that time with black people. They were literally making us sterile by the hundreds of thousands. But as you learn, and as it becomes more knowledge that's getting taught about, it'll be more apparent of why things are the way they are. I move forward into eugenics and genetic elimination. You feel me? These are words that we have to start looking into, because it's like I said before, they seen that if the white woman mated with any other person of color, then the white gene was inferior. So they have to maintain their superiority through what they call the Holocaust. But there's not only one Holocaust that happened in history. Let's delve in deep into this. You feel me? Because when I say things like the Holocaust, there was many Holocausts before that. They just marketed this Holocaust. Like the swastika was used hundreds of years before, but now after this one Holocaust, the Holocaust that they're just only talking about for the Jews, that they're only talking about, now the swastika is banned. Like dead in the water, there's no more. But there's been a boom in Volkswagen in the US. Where do they come from? Come on now, do your research before you start buying these cars. Before you start promoting these businesses that don't give a fuck about you and actually did something to you or your ancestors down deep in the... Alright, come on, let's just move on into it, right? Boom. I said this in, I think, the other episode, that we are slaves that built our own prison. You feel me? And the shit that's crazy about all of this shit is that we take pride in the prison that we built. You feel me? We take pride in going to work every day for chump change. We take pride in pulling up to our crib that we're renting or renting to own, or even if you do own it, you don't own the land underneath that motherfucker, you don't own the street, you don't own the city, you don't own shit. You don't really go into your supermarkets and know exactly where your food comes from. You don't know the farmer. There is no consumer to supplier. There is no supply to consumer no more. It's all third party middleman trickle effect. So once we start opening our eyes and learn how the system is as a whole, not just, oh, it's because of black people, oh, it's because of white people. No, We're all one race, the human race. You can't say you only like red-nosed pit bulls and not blue-nosed pit bulls. You love pits. And then under that, you love dogs in general, right? All right, come on, you follow me. Boom. The American dream is only real when you're asleep. Because when you open your eyes and you're awake and you don't believe in whatever you hear off the rip, then there's no way you can say that American dream's real. If a person can come over here with the thought of the American dream only on their brain, they can have a wonderful life. But if a person is born here and they see what it is on their everyday, it's not a dream no more. That shit's real. You feel me? We spend more money on illegal immigrants to get them jobs than the homeless people that are war veterans. Like, let's just keep it real. Take the emotions out of it, take the connotation off of what I'm saying and dive into the fact of what I'm actually saying to you. We have to wake the fuck up. Because if we don't, then the history will repeat itself and shit's gonna get sick. Back in the days we used to cherish the moon and the sun. That's the female and the man. You feel me? There used to be moon gods. There's no more moon gods in today's Roman Catholic Church. Come on now, bro. We really gotta wake up to this shit, bro, because once you take the moon out, the darkness out, then there's no way that anything can grow if there's constant sunlight.
That's it, alright. Thanks. You gotta be on the way.
And now, the Roman Catholic, they're pushing celibacy and homosexuality to keep you further away from the moon, further away from the darkness. And everybody think darkness is a bad thing. I just wrote about this today. I swear to God. Like, bro, this shit is so sick because you'll see a whole bunch of kids, their number one fear is, I'm scared of the dark. For what? If there's no dark, there's no life, son. I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell my son this. I'm gonna be like, if you go out here and you're scared of the dark, then you're scared of 90% of your fucking life. Because you were born in the dark. You feel me? If you want something to grow, you have to plant that seed into the dirt. That means it is in complete darkness. You feel me? When you're out here and you're maneuvering, when there's a lot of stuff happen, a lot of bad stuff happen at nighttime. You feel me? Because they feel more alive and more active. That moon is out. They see that motherfucking moon, that reflective of the sun, so they can stare at the moon and still get the sun's rays. We have to open up about this, bro, because without the sun, the moon wouldn't be able to shine, but the moon would still be there. Right or wrong? When you hear about the start of everything, right? Everything was black. And then God made light, right? But then the light had to go out there, so wherever the light was going, darkness was there first. You feel me? So light's not the fastest thing moving. Darkness is. Because when you walk into that room, it's dark. You have to turn that light on to see. And then I guarantee you, when you turn that light on, you go next to that bed where that light don't hit it, it's still dark right there, right? Like, come on now, let's look at this physically. Dark is superior to light. But you look at any Webster dictionary, it literally says white, light. Any one of them words is superior. It is affirmations and all this stuff. When you hear dark or black, it's negative. You feel me? You can't have one without the other. Come on now. Let's just think this. You feel me? Spirituality over religion. You feel me? I don't believe not one religion, but I practice a lot because all of them are talking about one spirituality thing. You feel me? Once you look into it, goddamn, but we have to get more in touch with our instinctual intuition because the animals side of us, we have instincts, fight or flight and all that, and then we have intuition. That's something that animals don't have. That's why cats can kill themselves doing something that they're just trying to figure out. They can die because they don't have intuition, that feeling, that gut feeling. Let me get out of here real quick. They'll be like, nah, let me see what that is all the way because they have instincts. But once we get into that instinctual intuition, or how my anime friends will call it, ultra instinct, that is real. When you don't even know that you're doing it because it's an instinct, but it's intuition, so you know what you're doing. That's crazy, but it's real shit. Y'all better look this shit up, boy.